What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Wolfpack Auto. This is episode number 3 on the drag truck build. I'll be splitting it into 2 parts. So this first part will be primarily the back half kit video. The second part will be the roll cage. So that second part will probably be out in the next couple weeks. So make sure you guys watch for that, and hopefully you guys like the video. So I found this rear end on Facebook for $100. It's a Ford 9-inch out of a 1976 F-150. It had 350 gears in it. It was about 60 inches wide. I immediately started sanding on it and getting it ready to be cut up because I wanted to shorten it so I could fit a little bit wider wheels and tires on the back of the truck since I am going to back half it. It was in pretty decent shape. It wasn't too bad. Just sanded it down the best I could, set the axles to the side, polished it up real nice. I had this guy that was about an hour away shorten it for me. He shortened it down to 40 inches or 40.5, the 0.5 favoring the passenger side. And then this is the back half kit and the roll cage when it first came in, so I'll get more into that here in a second. First business order is go to organize the garage. Get all the shit out of the bed of the truck, the front clip, little center console, dash parts, stuff like that, cardboard, out of the bed of the truck. And then once I get everything all organized, I'm going to take the bed off, expose the frame. It's only held in with the 2 front bolts, so it should be fairly easy to remove once I get it jacked up and put some jack stands underneath of it, just for added safety. And then we'll put it on the side of the house, cover it with the tarp, probably with the front clip in the bed again, and go from there. Pretty much I'm doing this so I could take some measurements on the frame for the back half kit, because it did come in, and here's a picture of it here. And then after that, I'll show you the next current project coming up here very soon. So the bed is finally off the frame. The new rear axle there. Next task is to remove the fuel tank mount, the breather box, and slowly start measuring everything. I'm gonna try and keep these bed mounts here. I'll cut them off the existing frame there. Take off everything that I don't need and start measuring where the back half kit will go. After that, I'll probably remove the cab and then take this to a place that can weld the back half kit to it. I could do it, I just don't have a frame table. I want this absolutely as straight as possible and to go with the bed of the truck so it's all measured up properly. What's up, YouTube? Sorry I was a little short earlier. I had some issues with my daily over there, my 98 S10, same thing as this one. I did get the bed off, as you saw in the time lapse. A little harder than I was anticipating, just because it had already 2 bolts missing out of it. I got the wiring out of it. Taillights didn't have any light bulbs in it, which was super weird. And then the next step for this is I gotta take it completely down to bare frame and get the upper and lower control arms off and everything like that, and then take it to a shop out in Woods Cross to get the frame mocked up. But that probably won't happen until I get the 3rd member in and the axle is made for it, because it is going to need custom length axles, because I did change it just a little bit. So instead of 60-inch stock width, there's now going to be 40 inches, 40.5. So the 1/2 inch is favoriting the passenger side for the drive shaft. just so that everything is centered off the pinion itself. This is the old third member 350 gear set on it, and it is only like 31 splined axles, which I'm gonna be doing 35 heavy duty splined axles with 370 gears, just so it's a little bit nicer on the street. And then a little surprise right here, it's a couple of the parts for the daily. I'll have more parts tomorrow to show you, and that was what I was dealing with today. It's an old starter, solenoid kind of took a crap on me. One bolt fell out, and so there was only one bolt holding it in, surprisingly, and it must have went out recently because when I pulled the starter out, the other solenoid bolt came out too, which was super weird. But that is it for today. So I ended up taking everything down, and I decided to do it myself, the back half and the roll cage, just because it would be cheaper than taking it to another shop. So I got all the parts laid out on the table, and I ended up putting the shock mounts together and putting the 4-link together onto the back half kit itself. It's about 21 inches for each length, and then I set it in between the frame rails just to kind of get it centered up with where the axle should be. And this is me just getting everything mocked up, ready to be put into place. So I got all the parts setting together, getting ready. So I ended up cutting the mounts for the 4-link in half to fit around the housing itself. And I just tacked everything into place for the time being to make sure everything was centered. And I probably went over my measurements 4 or 5 times just to make sure that it would be perfect, because I didn't feel like cutting them back off and repositioning things. So I wanted to make sure everything was perfect, so I didn't mess anything up. So we ended up just taking 1 by 1 square tubing, I believe, to make sure everything was centered. The back half was a little crooked, surprisingly, so we kind of had to bend it straight to get it to fit where it should be. And this is where we got it all tacked into place, not fully welded at all, just to get everything mocked up for the time being. So I'll let you guys look at it a little bit. Ended up just cutting the axles and putting them in the housing. So sometime this week, I'm gonna make plates and cut off the excess from the back half kit. And then once I get the main hoop sitting down in there, I will start kind of seeing where I wanna make the mounts for underneath to attach the chassis. Then I'm gonna drill holes to figure out where I'm gonna put the A-pillar bar for the roll cage, and then go from there. Then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go through the cab for the main hoop to attach to the frame on the back half kit, and I will figure out mounts so I could still pull the bed off or pull the cab off if I need to. So I made a cardboard template to figure where I want to plate it off, connecting it to the back half. So I've came up with this. On the outside, it's just gonna be flush down, but I didn't bring any tools home to cut this piece off. But I know that that piece is gonna be straight from the outside and straight down. I'm gonna have it tucked into there so I can weld it onto the bed mount there, flush with the top of the frame rail. And then what I'm gonna do is underneath, I'm gonna do a flat piece, connect it on the back side too, so it's completely boxed in all the way around. And if the frame's square, should fit exactly the same on the other side, so let's go see. So now I'm on the passenger side. It fits exactly how I want it to. So I'm happy with that template for now. I'll work on the inside templates. So this is what the inside plate looks like. It goes around the back half cross member, goes flush with the frame. There's that little 1-inch square tubing holding the chassis together. It's gonna go all the way back and weld it flush with where it's kind of squared on the frame a little bit. So this is on the driver's side now. Looks pretty close to the passenger side. So I think that'll work as well for the cutout. So I cut out some holes for looking at a couple people's what they've done. I got the main hoop sitting in there right now. It's not welded or tacked to anything. Just trying to get an idea. Straight up and down, you'll see it a little bit once it's in position from the outside. That's pretty much it. Now I gotta see where the top bar goes and try and figure everything out. So I got the main hoop sitting in place here. And then I took the headliner out, set the headliner on the back of the truck. I won't be able to get too much further than this at home because I have no way to hold the roof hoop to the main hoop without everything just falling. My magnets aren't strong enough to hold it together. And once I get those two welded together, I can figure out where my A-pillar bars go. So I brought it back to my work to finish the back half and work on the roll cage some more. So this is the driver's side. Cut off any piece I cut off, just set it and turn just double it up, make it a little bit stronger. The outside all welded. The inside all welded as well. Not the prettiest, not sure hole. Pretty hot. Passenger side. Passenger side looks a little bit better. Cross members. I got the back half all boxed in, both sides. Here, I'm going to start the cage to connect to the top of the back half, so I cut off the frame rails. I added some cross members. It's just temporary, so I can make some bed mounts. So like everyone knows, I got the main hoop in. Now I'm going to take off the seat belts, 2 bolts here. And then take off this plastic piece so I can remove the carpet on the back side. Seat belts out, carpet out, main hoop out. Gonna grind down the tar, cut these and weld them up. Weld all the pieces around it for now. Fix where the other holes were. Go from there. Next up, cross brace back half to the frame where it's plated. And once we get the main hoop in, we'll get bars and touch the top of the back half for these. Everything be in there here shortly. Tacked into place for now. I need to do crossbars going down, bars that come out back, as well as side bars. done today. The back half all in. Roll cage in somewhat. Made mounts for the bed. Had to drill the holes. Core link's still not welded fully. Cage is pretty much welded in fully besides the door bars and the rear bars. That's pretty much it so far. Mounts for the cage. Come along. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up around where the foil link is and the shock mounts, and I'm going to weld them fully in. So first I'm going to take the wire wheel, clean them all up real nice, then get the welder over here and weld them. Check it out. What do you think? Not bad, not bad. Alright, so I'm gonna weld in front of you guys. Looks pretty clean. And I'm gonna show you guys what my welds look like. See what you guys think about it. Set the camera down, one continuous shot, no stops, and we'll weld it for you. Little change. Got good penetration though.